Hello everyone, I'm Rachel and today I welcome you all to Executive Corner Expert Talks. I'm with Mr. Bruce Maluish. He's the Managing Director of VRX Silica. Now VRX Silica is focused on supplying the global demand for silica sand. And here at Kalkine, we bring you industry leaders, successful business owners, market and equity advocates all under one roof to help you discover the insights of the stock market and help you understand how you can create multiple passive income streams. Welcome to you today, Bruce.
Thanks, Rachel.
Now, VRX Silica has recently kicked off drilling of a water production bore for its Arrowsmith North project in WA. When do you think you will finalize this drilling?
It'll be some time yet, probably another couple of weeks. Of course, the amount of water we need for this sort of project is quite significant. We've got permits to drill the bore and extract enough water, but we have to seal off the surface water. And we're actually drilling into what's called the Yarragadee North deep water aquifer. It's got a lot of water down there. We're not going to affect its, its longevity, but we have to seal off. So we have to drill down to a certain extent, grout it all off, and then drill through it again, and to head down to the deeper aquifer. We're down fairly deep, but we're not as deep as we expect to be finally, which is plus 350 metres. And once we're down there, we have to conduct quite a bit of geophysics and pump tests to confirm that it can supply the water we need. And these are details that are required for the authorities to grant the final extraction license. So we're well down, we've grouted it, we've sealed off the surface water, but we're still going. I expect it will be another couple of weeks.
Excellent. And could you tell me a little bit more about the final silica sand product for the Midwest Ports Authority? What can you tell me about this?
That's another a very important step in the development of the project. We've completed all the test work. Fortunately, it's extremely low in respirable silica, which is the main concern. And all that data has now been sent to the Midwest Port Authority, and they will use that to support an application for an amendment to their license to operate there, and that will then allow them to load silica sand. But fortunately, it's well below any limits that are required there.
Excellent. And you recently supplied bulk samples from the Arrowsmith North for furnace testing to potential offtake partners. What are the company's expectations from this testing procedure?
It's all been very positive, but it's a bit of an iterative process. We'll send them samples. So far, in general, they like the quality of the samples, but this is still the opportunity for us to fine-tune the plant to meet almost exactly what they require. So we've been getting feedback from a number of potential buyers, and they have indicated really what the quality they want. And then we've gone back, modified some of the testing regime that we've got, and in general, it is just really a subtle selection of screen sizes that will give the final product. But as far as the shape goes, it's very positive. And we're just working on the sizes now. It's different to glass products. This is all about the screen, the size of the particles and the shape of the particles, less about the mineralogy of the particles. So in this case, the grain sizes are the right shape, and we're getting closer to being able to select the right sort of screens. So really, it's just this opportunity at the design stage to be able to modify our final product to fit the market. So we're getting feedback on that all the time, and we've still got to produce probably another 3 or 4 large samples to be able to send out to potential buyers. And it takes a while to produce those samples, because once we have produced them, we've got to then run through all of our assay work and our test work and our particle size distribution test work to confirm that it is the right product. Unfortunately, labs are inundated at the moment, so it's a bit slower, that process, than we would have anticipated. But we're getting there, and we're in constant discussions with potential buyers, but mainly about the product that they would, really appreciate.
And another thing that could potentially slow down things, obviously, are the renewed lockdowns in some parts of Australia. Now, with the expectation for construction and first production to start from the Arrowsmith North project, do you foresee any challenges with regards to these lockdowns?
We haven't seen any obvious effects yet. Very few of the products required from overseas, and they seem to be in reasonable supply. Over the next couple of weeks, we will finalise our selection of the long lead items and get those ordered. But most of it is produced in Australia, and even then, an awful lot of it is actually produced here in WA, where we don't have any lockdowns. So far, fingers crossed, we're not being affected by it to date.
Where does the company's Maluish Silica Sand project currently stand in terms of the environmental approval process?
More of a challenge. It's as we've completed required studies at our Arrowsmith North project, and that's the image behind me. We duplicate those studies as well at Maluish, and we're still working on that. But really, we're getting close to the final decisions required from the EPA for Arrowsmith North. So, if they require more work there, we'll go and repeat it down in Maluish, and that's what we've been doing the whole time. We've actually also been repeating the same work at our Arrowsmith Central project, which is only about 20 kilometres away from Arrowsmith North. And that referral document will be going to the EPA very soon.
Why does the company think the development of its Maluish project will support a substantial export industry in Western Australia?
We think actually all three of our projects will support substantial exports. Each of the projects produces subtly different quality sand. Arrowsmith North is suitable for flat glass and container glass. Arrowsmith Central, very similar but subtly different. There are no subtle differences actually make a difference when it comes to end users. But Maluish is higher quality. It's higher quality in the ground. And we're working on processes at the moment to make that into extremely high quality. It's a large resource, and if we can get the quality out of it, it will feed into what's called the ultra clear glass market, and that's dominated at the moment by the glass that's required to be put over solar panels. One, that can be an export industry, but we're courting inquiries from some substantial overseas companies to install a glass manufacturing facility here in WA next to the deposit, and also next door to gas pipelines which run right past the front door of this project, each of the projects. That's getting significant interest. We've been trying to get more interest from the state government to support that. And we're slowly getting there. We have to educate a lot of government officials about the potential for glass manufacturing, because there is no glass manufacturing in WA. And WA is rapidly getting to the point where it has an extremely good economic advantage. One, with the quality of the deposit and potential of what we can produce there, but also gas pipelines from the northwest. It's gas in Western Australia is rapidly becoming some of the cheapest in the world. Unfortunately, to produce glass, 80% of the cost of producing the glass is energy. So having an advantage with gas is quite significant. And we're slowly getting that message out, and we're getting the message through to the right people to try and get a bit more state support.
Excellent. And just the final question now, Bruce, how do you believe the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the demand-supply scenario for silica stand in the Asia-Pacific market particularly?
I think 2020 it was affected, but mainly affected by perceptions. Companies expected to be affected more than they were. So it rebounded quite quickly towards the end of the year. And, you know, the stimulus spending that is going on in Asia is predominantly into infrastructure. But, you know, behind that infrastructure is a lot of quite significant construction going on in the cities of Asia and Southeast Asia. And that's using up a lot of glass. So I think generally the perception overshot the mark, and it's bounced back very quickly last year. And at the moment, it is as strong as it's ever been, particularly solar panels. That's an industry that is growing at about 30% a year, and not just the industrial scale, potential power supply coming, renewable power supply from solar, but it is slowly making inroads into the domestic market in Asia. Now, solar panels, they were coming down dramatically in price. They've plateaued a little bit at the moment. They can get a little bit lower. There is an enormous market in Asia for domestic requirements. It's Australia is fortunate that we can generally afford to put solar panels on houses, and you see that more and more. In fact, it's probably pretty difficult in the suburbs these days to get a house without solar panels, and that market is yet to be developed in Asia. But all the glass manufacturers, all the solar panel manufacturers understand that ultimately there is just this huge market yet to be tapped.
Excellent. It's such a fast-paced, moving space you are in there, Bruce. Thank you very much for the chat today. It's been great to have your time.
Thanks very much. Nice chatting.
Good to speak to you. With that, I will sign off for now, but watch this space for more. Till then, stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.